All right, good evening, everyone. I'm going to call the May 27th meeting of Granby Planning and Zoning Commission to order. Let's please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll do a commission check-in or any alternates. I'm Mark Lockett, the commission chair, and starting from my far right.
Eric Beal, member.
Paula Johnson, alternate.
Eric Myers, vice chair.
Bob Lavitt, member.
Steve Muller, member.
Brennan Shahan, member.
Okay, Commissioner Cheney's out today, so Paul will be sitting in.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is public session. Would any member of the public like to speak to us about an item not on the agenda on a planning and zoning matter? I don't see anyone else in the audience and nobody on Zoom. So that being, we'll close public session. Next is action on the minutes of May the 13th. I took a look at them. I don't have any comment. Does any commissioners have comments? If not, I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstained?
Abstain.
There's one abstention from Commissioner Johnson. Otherwise, the minutes pass. Next is a public hearing. We have a public hearing tonight for application for a site plan modification for a playground at 160 Granville Road. Vice Chair Myers, could you read the call to the hearing, please?
There will be a public hearing conducted by the P&Z on Tuesday, May 27, 2025. That's 7 p.m. in the Granby Town Hall Meeting Room, 15 North Granby Road, to hear and consider the following item. An application seeking a site plan modification to add a playground for property located at 160 Granville Road, R2A zone, file Z-6-25. At the hearing, interested persons may appear and be heard, and written communications will be received. Copies of the proposals are on file in the Community Development Office.
Is the applicant here?
Yes.
Well, and just before you start, just a reminder, this is a site plan hearing. It's not special permit, so we're just reviewing the site plan for conformity to those requirements, not special. We don't have discretion like the special permit.
Good evening.
Good evening. Just introduce yourself and address for the record, please.
Yep. My name is Matthew Deerdorf. I'm one of the directors on the board at Valley Brook, and we're here to get approval to build a playground at Valley Brook. I guess I don't have slides up, but we're building a 75 by 85 foot footprint playground. It's going to have 4 elements to the playground, one for larger or the elementary kids, one for tots, and then a balance beam and a spinner, all that within that 75 by 85 foot footprint. It's going to be mulched with the playground quality mulch. It's on the south field, or what we call the south field at Valley Brook. We looked at other areas within the grounds, but ran into drainage issues, old septic tanks, irrigation issues. So yep, right up there, the 75 by 85 square there is our location that we're looking to construct. In the future, we might put the concrete walkway. That's not one of our priorities at the very beginning. It's to get the playground built safe with a fence around it. Let the kids start playing on that, and then we can add more to it. We did have to go to the Wetlands Committee and got the approval because it touches the wetlands there. Right now, we are putting in the silt fence and prepping for the excavation once we get all the approvals.
Did the wetlands approve the last meeting?
It did. I believe that was Thursday. We had the wetlands approval. The next slide is just a blow up of the wetlands and the buffer zone that we are going to build and construct, the no-mow zone. And what we're going to plant, some of the other plantings to get back to the buffer zone and to the wetland. Next slide is just the footprint of the 75 by 85 on the chart. If you want to look at that. And then next slide, please. That's that. One more slide, please.
It was just horses.
Here's our sequence of events. Really to gain the approval from the wetlands, from planning and zoning. We found out we don't need a permit with Granby to build. So after we get all the approvals, we'll start construction. We are going to build a fence around it, but it's not going to be a gated fence. It's going to be like an open fence similar to Salmon Brook Parks. So the 16-foot wide opening. Fence is going to be 5 foot tall, so not really keeping animals out necessarily. It's more to kind of contain the kids or funnel the kids into a certain area.
Corral them.
There will be benches and picnic tables within the area as well to help complete the whole playground area. Next slide. This is one more. I think I got it. Oh, maybe it's not in there. I got pictures of the elements that we're going to have. Grand total, our budget's going to be about $80,000 to put this together. We got a lot of, oh yeah, we got it there.
Wow.
We got a lot of volunteer work to help with this as far as the excavation and the building, some skilled labor to do that. So we're very blessed with that. So that's going to help on some of the savings that we can get back to the playground. And the ultimate design of this playground is not just for Valley Brook. We want this to be a North Granby playground for the community. So everyone is welcome. And that's why we didn't really want the gate on there either. We wanted it to feel very open and welcoming, that people can come onto the grounds and enjoy the playground on any given Tuesday. As well as we've got trails on the grounds and a disc golf course. So we want it to be a part of North Granby, not just a Valley Brook thing on Sunday morning. So that's the design and really the vision for the playground, where we want it to go. I am available for questions.
I'll just start, Abby, like you said, wetlands has approved the site plan that you received meets the criteria for the site plan from staff's perspective?
Yes, so the applicant did make some changes in response to the wetlands process, and that is incorporated on what is presented before the commission this evening.
Okay.
And it does comply. And I also just wanted to point out too that there are no exterior lights proposed to be directed on the playground or anything.
Seems very straightforward, good, you guys put a lot of thought into it, and I like, kids today have some good stuff to play on.
Yeah.
Anything that gets them off video games.
Yes.
I do have a question. Oh, go ahead.
No, it's going to open up the
No,
questions.
okay. I'm just curious. I couldn't really tell from what you submitted. Are there any trees around this to provide a little shade now and then?
There are no trees.
No
Right now,
trees.
it's just an open field. We did talk about, maybe not necessarily now, but in the future, they have like the playground shades that go above the picnic tables. But right now, we are not planning for any shade.
Okay.
Anything else?
No questions.
Anything else?
No.
Well, looks good work so far, so, do you have anything else to add?
No, thanks for letting me be here and present.
I have to say, even though there's no one here, well, maybe Mark does, but does any member of the public or anybody on Zoom wish to speak on the hearing? So there's nobody, so, all right, with that, we'll close the hearing.
Thank you.
Commission will be discussing it shortly on our agenda. Thank you. Good luck.
Thanks. You still need me here?
You're welcome to stay, but you don't have to.
Thank you.
Adios.
Okay, next on the agenda is receive application schedule hearing. Abby, I see you have one for outdoor dining at 518 Salmon Brook.
Yes, we did receive site plan modification application for outdoor dining at 518 Salmon Brook Street. This is Las Poitras Mexican Restaurant. They are looking to add some outdoor tables on the sidewalk in front of the restaurant there. So we can schedule this for June 10th. So that evening, we would have the two Mill Pond applications, which are somewhat related, the Lost Acres Orchard tent, and then this would be the fourth one.
And they don't need a special permit change for this, it's just a site plan change?
Correct, just a site plan, yep.
So normally we have public hearings for site plans, so I'm okay to continue that process here if you commission it. I'm okay in doing it on the 10th too.
Okay.
Everybody good? All right. June 10th. All right, consider applications where the commission included the hearing. We just concluded the site plan modification for the playground at 160 Granville Road. Looks fine to me. The site plan looks in conformance. Staff's noted it and the applicant went through it, so I don't have anything further. If the commission has any comment, if not, I'll take a motion.
Looks good.
That's great. No questions.
Well, I'll move that we approve the application seeking a site plan modification under zoning regulations 8.16.10 for outdoor dining. Well, excuse me. Okay, let's start with the application for site plan modification to the addition of a playground for property located at 160 Granville Road.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second to approve the site plan as proposed. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carries. Thank you. Okay, next is discuss the plan of conservation development application that Abby put together from our last meeting. Abby, I thought did a great job on it. It looks good to me. I had one point maybe or not on the page 2 where you have all the listings of stuff, or things, I should say, not stuff. Maybe put an other in case we missed one, where somebody has a skill set that maybe they want to bring to our attention. But other than that, I liked it, but I'll throw out some comments to the rest of the commission.
I'm fine with it. I like the idea of having them state their reasons for wanting to be appointed. I think that may be more illuminating than some of the other stuff.
Let's get an application already. Sorry about that.
Looks very thorough. I think there's enough
Somebody was there.
items in there, number 2, to give everyone an opportunity to define what their purpose is, so, yeah.
Okay, that's
And
great.
I think it's a great idea that you have here that they should be familiar with the current plan, because the last couple of times we did it, we had to spend so much time getting people just to read the current plan, to see had we met our goals, what goals had we not met, did they understand it before we could even begin planning for the future. So I think that's a really good thing to emphasize.
I agree with Paula. That was our experience, definitely.
One point maybe, Abby, when I noted in here, and we talked about the change in time, I don't know if you want to explain on
Yes.
that.
Yeah,
Meeting, Aaron.
we had discussed meeting the first P and Z meeting of the month, so the second Tuesday of the month, but I realized Conservation Commission meets that same night. And because we are requesting a representative from Conservation to serve on this committee, that means they would miss every single regular scheduled meeting for a year. So I'm suggesting that we move this committee meeting to the fourth Tuesday of the month, so P and Z's second meeting of the month instead. And there's no overlap or issues with other boards and commissions for that fourth Tuesday.
I'm just going to
Makes
leave you
sense.
enough time to do your everyday business for the committee. In fact, commission. Okay.
We'll get it done.
No, it's a tight timeframe. Because this also, we have to do the work, the subcommittee, then it comes to this whole commission to review. Then it goes, where does it go to CROG? Before-
It
after-
goes to CROG and then Board of Selectmen.
Then it goes to CROG, then Board of Selectmen,
Yep.
and then they vote on, do they vote on it as well?
They don't have to, but it helps if
Yeah,
they do.
and then after the Board of Selectmen look at it, then we vote?
Yep.
Final, okay. All right, well, if everyone's happy with it, with the one change we suggested, I'll tell Abby, go ahead and get it out there. The drummer's gonna have a notice about it on the June edition, which will come out, I would think, this weekend. And then the application will go up on the website this week.
Yeah, we'll probably do it tomorrow.
Okay, be up for tomorrow, and then interested applicants can follow instructions and get it into Abby's office. Consideration by the due date's the 23rd of
Yes.
June, right?
Yep,
Okay. All right, thank you.
great.
Okay, continuing item 10, staff reports. Anything, Abby?
One quick update, the fire marshal and building official have done CO inspections on Building 5 at Station 280, so that's the final apartment building for that development. There's a few punch list items for them to take care of, but they should be fully done very soon. And then I think they have, a couple more garages and the pool.
Pool in the pavilion.
So that's wrapping up quickly. So we'll make sure we do a site inspection to ensure that the development has been constructed in accordance with approved site plan and then bond any additional items that might be needed. So they're looking to wrap up soon, which is great.
Any additional improvements to their trash management issue behind the building?
Yeah, so our building official, zoning enforcement officer has been in constant communication with them on that, and they have cleaned up the site, and within the last couple weeks, it has stayed that way. And of course, before he gives the CO on the building, he'll make sure that it's in a good condition in terms of the trash.
Any word on the percent of occupancy so far?
No, I've actually been meaning to check in with them on that, so I will do that and can let you know at the next meeting where they stand.
Anything else?
One thing I wanted to point out, I should have discussed that 160 Granville Road. So that's an example of a simplified site plan for anyone who might watch this video later on and look at the application. So I think it just shows that that process works pretty well.
Worked great.
Very nice. Yeah, absolutely.
Save the applicant a lot of expense and time and something that I would say is, simple and minor. It helps their
Yep.
property and their goals out, so it's over here. Good. Okay, let's see. Item number 11, any commissioner reports, information?
So I have an item to bring forward. There have been ongoing reported issues, at least to me. One of the benefits of being on this commission is that folks seem to find me out rather than go through appropriate channels to make complaints about things. Julian's is really enjoying its success, and the parking situation that we approved for them has become problematic, and I've engaged in some correspondence with Abby. It's time to invite them back. To have them revisit their parking. They not only not have enough parking for their peak period this weekend was a significant issue. The parking lot we approved them for was to be keeping a natural setting, be grass and whatnot. It has turned into a complete mud bog. When it rains or is wet, cars can't park in there. So instead they park in the street or they park on Reed Hill, the neighborhood road that's right close to them, and they walk. The parking, they're tracking mud, dirt, and debris on the rainy days into the roadway, which is actually in violation of, I believe there's several statutes with regard to tracking into roadways. It goes up and down Barndore Hills Road, both directions. It's a hazard and not in keeping with what I believe we approved. So my recommendation is, since there's no longer a shred of grass in that field, is that we require them to improve it and to make it a legitimate parking lot, gravel or otherwise, not requiring paving, of course, but it needs to be improved so it can be utilized for parking. So it would be my recommendation that they're not, I believe they're no longer in compliance and they need to come back. And ideally, they would create alternative parking as well. They don't have enough during peak periods, even if that parking lot was fully operational. Paula, others, I'm sure you've driven by and seen it.
Fact, yeah. I haven't seen them. It was a real mess last year. They were parking on the street and they had somebody, I had somebody pull right out in front of me, because let's face it, you've had a good cup of coffee and you're just so happy to pull out in front of somebody. So
They just need to
they
solve.
never had any idea they're going to be so
No,
successful.
they just need to, in my opinion,
Yeah.
just solve their parking.
Exactly.
They need to solve the parking.
That would be good.
My recollection is they, in response to some of our inquiries about what do you do if you're tremendously successful, is they said they would move. So
There's so
I
many vacant properties in
personally would
town.
propose that as part of the discussion we have.
I agree.
I suggested Freshies building last time. They said they couldn't afford it.
So I don't know formality-wise how if there's consensus, Mr. Chairman, to invite them, require them to come back to open up their parking. How would we go about that?
I think, we have to look at the special permit. We did the parking lot was the third,
Site- Right, and that was a site plan.
because there was one where we gave them, I thought that was
The first one was the permit, then the hours,
Right.
then the parking lot.
Yeah,
but I thought that was a special permit, that was just a site
not for the
plan.
parking lot, yeah.
Wasn't there, I think, where was the one we had the curb cut?
That was the site plan.
Okay, so did that have what Eric's saying, did that have a grass and,
So the approved site plan was just for, it was for a grass parking area. It was clear that that was to remain grass, but they were to install an apron, which was submitted in process and approved through our office and Department of Public Works. So what is out there in terms of the apron complies with the site plan. But certainly if that's not enough to keep gravel or debris in the property, that's something that we could look at. In terms of any other modification to the parking area, like gravel or something more permanent, that would have to come back for site plan modification to change that, because I think it was the intent that it was supposed to be left in a natural state to kind of go with the farm atmosphere, but certainly open to,
it sounds, I
Thoughts on
haven't been
that?
over there, but it sounds like it's not grass anymore.
It's not.
No, it's mud. It was
I
mud
was,
during the-
I walked it after hours a week ago or so, and it's a complete mud bog with all this rain. The
Yep.
depressions are in there, are 2 or
Ruts.
3 feet deep. It's, the tracking pad is not sufficient anymore. It's becoming a mud pad, not a tracking pad, so.
So does that sound like something that the CEO can go look at to the permit, because of the
Yeah.
site plan? Because if it's not in
Yep.
conformance, they, to what Commissioner Myers says, they either have to come back for a modify to that or get that back into compliance, which means they'd have to shut it down and resod it or
right,
plant it, which isn't going to help.
Never be able
right.
the traffic they have. And of course, I think the appeal is, it is a farm, it is a beautiful setting, so asking them to move their business to Freshies, I mean,
I think,
Well, we don't have the power to do that.
Right, I think the
We can
recommendation
remind
is
them
two
what they said.
sites. They
yeah,
probably.
2 sites, yeah.
But if the parking's that,
Oh, I know.
if their lot's that bad, it's not, it sounds like it's not in conformance to the site plan or the
No.
permit in general. And they mostly have to try to address that or, but I don't know, I don't have a solution to whether it's gravel or processed or whatever it is, but it sounds like they need
Do
something.
something.
Well, there are permeable surfaces that you can buy that do allow water to go through. I don't know what the cost would be and how it would compare with gravel, but they work pretty well because people actually use them for, for driveways and stuff like that.
And there are better gravels out there from an attractiveness. Once the lot needs to be boxed out properly, the topsoils need to be removed, and then an underlayer needs to go in, and then on top of it, rather than just crushed blue, which is very common because it's local here in East Granby, is round river rock is very common at parking lots. It's prettier. We could make recommendations to that accord if needed. That comes from Dunning, sand and gravel and other locations. It's washed stone from riverbanks. Very pretty.
So consensus, maybe by the next meeting, check on, if you talk to them, see if they've had any thought. I'm sure they're not wanting their customers to be dragging mud around either.
Yeah, I will, I'll talk to the zoning enforcement officer and we'll get out there and I'll have an update for the next meeting.
So we don't want to create a safety issue on Bushy's Hill, or that's part of the hills on that side. That's small enough road as it is.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else for anyone? All right, then, yeah, we're good.
Yep.
All right, well, our next meeting will be June the 10th then. So if there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion second to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstained? We are adjourned.